Blue Springs, and welcome to this edition of Positively Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I'm Tony Wrisinger, Sideline Sports. So happy you could join us today. First, we're joined by Gary Cobb. He is the local owner and operator of Lunar Bowl here in Blue Springs, and Gary's going to tell us about Lunar Bowl, some of the great things that are going on as well. And we're joined by Tina Short. She is the group sales manager at Lunar Bowl, and she's going to tell us about all the great events you can schedule at Lunar Bowl, fundraising, classes, and she'll keep us up to date with all that great stuff. And then we're joined by Gary's son, Zach Cobb, and Zach is like the huge soccer fan, one of the biggest soccer fans I know. World Cup's over. Zach's going to tell us about the World Cup, his affinity for soccer, and what he's doing now. That's all straight ahead here on Positively Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. Welcome back to Positively Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I'm Tony Wrisinger, Sideline Sports, and you can't say Positively Blue Springs without talking about Lunar Bowl. And today on Positively Blue Springs, we're going to be joined by Gary Cobb, the general manager, local owner, and operator of Lunar Bowl. Love saying locally owned and operated. That's just fantastic. But such an asset to Blue Springs for many, many years. And Gary, as always, welcome back to Positively Blue Springs.
Nice to be here.
Oh, always great to have you. You know, Lunar Bowl. How long has it been here in Blue Springs?
We opened in 2001, so math.
Yeah?
13 years.
Okay, I can tell you went to Marshall High School there with that
there you
outstanding
boom,
math
boom.
education. And, you know, Blue Springs, I mean, you're so involved in Blue Springs. You're involved in the Rotary Club. You're involved in the Chamber. You're involved with the schools. You're involved with us, with the Sonic Locker Room and high school football on TV and radio. Being part of the community is very important to Lunar Bowl. What does Lunar Bowl see with being involved in the community as much as you are?
Well, Tony, you know, since we opened in 2001,
it was 13 years.
2001.
Go Marshall Owls.
Yes. We've had a scholarship program every year. We decided early on we wanted to do that. A lot of those scholarships have gone to employees that we've had. We've employed hundreds of kids from the community, and they kind of roll over every year. I see them now going on to college. Now they're having families. They're starting to have children. But we've always tried to stay involved in the community. We're involved. We do a lot of work with the Parks Department. Like as you mentioned, I've been involved in Rotary for many years. Although a lot of the youngsters are taking over Rotary now. I didn't think I'd ever say that. And we're involved in the Chamber. We're going to have two people. Tina, who you're going to see in a minute, is going to go through the leadership class, and so is our assistant manager Courtney Garza is going through the leadership class. So we're looking forward to them getting more involved in that also.
That's with the locally owned and operated, that you are involved in the community, and that your patrons not just come from Blue Springs, but also from the Fort Osage area, Oak Grove, Grain Valley, even as far away as Pleasant Hill and Lee Summit. That you get it, that you're involved, and that you're out there, and that you're connecting with the people that are your customers.
Correct. Right.
And in the bowling industry, it's changing year in and year out, and you have to keep up with the Joneses, and because it's an entertainment venue, and the competition for that entertainment dollar is always out there. And you guys recently went down to Florida to this trade show.
Yeah,
tell me about that trade show.
We did.
Intrigues me.
Every industry's got their trade show every year that they have, and ours is called Bowl Expo, and it's in June every year, right around my birthday. So this year I took 3 of the staff with us, and we all went to different meetings, and those 3 had never been there before. So it was really good. They got to experience and go to seminars and to the trade show. And the main thing is just sharing ideas with other people.
Right.
What's popular right now in our industry, what's working, what's not, all the changes that are taking place. And they came back with so many ideas. I've been for years, so after a while you kind of go, oh, we tried that, that's not going to work. You know, you kind of lose your fire after a while, but they came back with so many ideas, and we just had a planning session, and we've got a lot going on in the next year, and they really kind of energized me again, you know, about the business, and so we're looking forward to our next year. We've got a lot going on.
You know, what I see with that is, and I want to give you some attaboys in here, is that basically we have with a lot of businesses, the owner will go down and he'll get the ideas, and he'll take notes and bring them back and present them to the staff. Okay.
Tried that.
Yep. Somewheres, and I know from sales, okay, when you meet with someone and you give them all the information, okay, when that gets, even with you, with it being the owner, when it comes back to deliver that information to your staff, here's what we're going to do, something gets lost in there.
It does.
But you made the investment to take, and it's not cheap to fly to Orlando and put people up for hotels and everything. You made the investment in your staff to go there and get it hands-on so they can see how it's done. So there's no gray area whatsoever. And I bet that pays off for you.
You're exactly right. We never would have gotten the traction that we got if I would have just brought the information back. And, they had to experience. And really, it's the interaction with other proprietors.
Right.
It's you get so much information from them, and they're not your immediate competitors. So there's a free flow of information. So it was a good show.
Right, and you share ideas. Let me ask you this here: Are most of the bowling centers that go down there and meet, are most of them locally owned and operated?
Yeah,
like yours?
most of them are independent. You really don't see the national chains sending people to the conference. They have their way they want to do things, and they'd rather not have their managers learn new ideas.
Right. No, there you go. But it gives you the opportunity to meet other local bowling alley, bowling center proprietors, and then you can call them up directly. Okay,
Correct.
What's working for you? Okay, they can call you up, and you can share with them, and it's just a big quality circle.
Yeah. Correct.
What do you love about owning the best bowling facility here in eastern Jackson County? I think Kansas City.
Well, every day is a new day.
Right.
Every day there's a new challenge, and like we discussed, keeping up with what's going on, what's new. You can never rest on your laurels, because as quick as something starts working for you, then things change. So it keeps me on my toes.
Definitely. And how does
and the young kids, they keep me young, and I get to deal with high school kids every day and millennials,
right?
And so it keeps you on your toes.
How many employees do you have there at Lunar Bowl?
Right now we're running about 30 to around 30. We'll hire another half dozen or so as in August as we start getting busy.
Okay, so big economic impact from your employees. They live here in Blue Springs, around the area, and they do business here. And for employ 40 people, that's amongst.
We've got a healthy payroll. We've got pay a lot of sales tax. Generate a lot of sales tax.
Good for the city, and good for the schools and all that those great organizations. How does it make you feel? And I know it's a softball question, but you look up on your wall, and you need to change it because we only got it changed a year ago. Okay, and I'm sure there's been over $100,000 generated since then. But I believe when we got your sign changed last year that you had donated over $850,000 to organizations who have done fundraisers at Lunar Bowl. What does it make you feel? I mean,
it's great that we have a mechanism for organizations to raise money. It's fantastic, and we do that. Tina's going to talk a little bit about this, but we do it mainly between May and October when we're not as busy, so we're able to deeply discount what we do, and it makes it affordable for them, and they're able to raise money for their organization. It's been great, and we probably do need to change that. I think we're probably up to close to $1 million on that. Sometimes tracking it's a little, people don't always share information, but we can pretty much gauge how much people raise, and this has been our busiest summer for fundraisers, and part of that's Tina out there talking with people, but people are starting to get the message now that this is we have some people changing out. Golfers that are looking at, boy, the golf tournament is just too much,
right? And
looking at doing bowling events instead.
Never rains.
Never rains.
Never hot.
Exactly. I think every time we talk, I'm always getting on the golfer. The golfers attack me after I leave.
No, there you go. Gary's phone number out.
Yes.
Last question for you before we bring Tina on for the next segment. What do you love about Blue Springs? What do you love about doing business here?
Well, I've lived here since 1981.
Okay.
And, I've just always enjoyed the community, always been involved. I came here, started out working at the hospital, so I met a lot of people through that. you know, as I came along in Blue Springs, you know, I was in JC's. I was president of JC's, so I met a whole group of people there. I met a whole group of people through sports. Zach's going to be on in a minute, and he played football from you know, the time he was in first grade through high school. So I met. That's where you meet all your circle of friends. Then I met a whole new circle of friends through Rotary. So that's been exciting, and you know, and meeting all those people. Everywhere I go, I see people I know.
Yep.
So it's.
And you know what? Your whole network there is just like the people that come to your bowling alley, because bowling is a sport that everyone can enjoy. Whether if you're a executive, whether if you're a general laborer, or if you're a student, or if you're a stay-at-home parent, whomever, bowling is for everyone. And thank you for providing that facility, the fine facility, Lunar Bowl, here in Blue Springs. Gary, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Positive Blue Springs. Everything you do in Blue Springs is much appreciated, not just by the school district and the organizations, but the community and the people, not just in Blue Springs, but around the area. And now it's time for us to bring on the brains and looks in the next segment.
Okay.
Okay, we'll bring on. Thanks so much, Gary.
Thank you.
Have a great day. This is Positive Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. Welcome back to Positive Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I'm Tony Wrisinger, Sideline of Sports. So we have to be joined by an old friend, okay, an old person I worked with she's a young person, the young person that I worked with at the Royals Radio Network for 12 years. She was always referred to as the brains and looks of the Royals Radio Network, and that's when I segued from Gary's interview. That's where the brains and looks came from. She's Tina Short with Lunar Bowl. She's the general sales manager, correct?
Group sales manager.
Group sales manager there at Lunar Bowl, and as always, welcome back to Positive Blue Springs.
Thanks for having me.
Lunar Bowl, you've been there since when? How long have you been there?
October 1st of last year.
Okay. How's it been since October 1st?
It's been a lot of fun. I've just kind of went in, on my feet, just going, getting stuff done.
Right.
Getting our name out there, basically, to all my contacts that I've known over the years. Letting them know what a great facility it is, and if they ever have an event or a fundraiser or a party, anything they need to do, they need to come see us to do it.
Right, and one thing I know in working with you for many, many years, and consider you basically one of my best friends and part of my family, is that you're a go-getter. You're a mover and shaker. And if you tell somebody that something's going to get done, it's going to get done. And you've gotten involved in the community, not just out and about knocking on doors of businesses, but I know in the Blue Springs Chamber of Commerce, Gary said you're going to go through the leadership course, which is very commendable, also the Blue Springs Business League, but you've gotten out there and you've taken this job running, and how's it been since October, meeting and greeting folks from Blue Springs?
Well, living in Independence, I'm an Independence resident, and I didn't realize what a great community Blue Springs is. It's just, the minute you get out in that community, they embrace you. They take you in. You're part of their family. Being part of the chamber, I think, has really helped me learn this business, learn the community, all the businesses around here, getting to know all the people in this community, our connection with the school district. Obviously, you've helped me a lot getting to know all the coaches and just different people in this community. And it's a great, I'm very proud to be an employee in this community.
Right. And you've networked out. You've networked out with the Grain Valley folks, the Oak Grove folks, the Fort Osage folks, and just congratulations on all your success that you've had.
Thank you.
Speaking of the school districts, let's talk about a couple programs that you have. One is the in-school bowling program. Tell us about that.
Well, Gary and I have worked really, really hard to get in front of Blue Springs and to let them know what a great opportunity this is for them. Basically, we have a bowling education foundation based out of Texas, and they provide schools with the opportunity to have bowling kits in their PE programs.
Okay.
So basically, with that, it has a whole curriculum with it. It has a DVD, it has a book, and everything for the physical education teacher to basically implement this program to their students, to put students through a bowling program. It's a bowling kit. It's got a lane. It's got pins. It's got a rubber ball, and it also teaches them how to keep score. So there's math component. Math components with it as well. It's a great opportunity. I mean, to me, I wish I would have had this when I was in school. They really taught you football, baseball, soccer, dodgeball. I never got the opportunity to really learn bowling, and I think that's an opportunity everybody should have. It's a sport. It's a lifetime sport. And there's a lot of kids out there that I think would really engage with it if it was taught in the schools.
Yeah, I agree with you because, one part of my math education at Lexington High School was, bowling over at the 13 Bowl in Henrietta. And learning how to keep score with, when there's 2 strikes and someone gets 8, it's 28 and add it on. And it's very important. And fitness-wise, bowling is it's great exercise. You burn calories. You go to on your FitnessPal app and put it in there, and you'll find out when you bowl that it's a lot of exercise that you do.
Well, and I do credit Blue Springs. They've been great to work with on this. We did get the grant finally written, and actually that's going through today.
Great.
To get this approved, where we can provide bowling kits for Brittany Hill and Sunnyvale. So they're going to be the 2 schools that are going to be participating in this great program. And I think once we roll it out, you'll be surprised how many kids out there will be like, I got to get into a bowling league. I've got to start doing this now. So.
Hey, congratulations to you and Gary for getting this done.
It's been a lot of work, but it's been well worth it, and
I
think it's really going to be a great thing for Blue Springs to start to be a part of.
Yeah, congratulations. Tell us about Youth Bowling 101.
Youth Bowling 101 is very similar to our Adult Bowling 2.0 program. Basically, we bring the kids in, and it's done through our Parks and Rec department. They're really helping us get the word out there, and it's a 3-week program where we bring the kids in on a Saturday, or a Sunday, actually. We're going to do it Sunday this year. We're going to start this here in a couple weeks. We're going to get the schedules out. Blue Springs Parks and Rec is actually going to have this in their upcoming fall guide, so people will be able to stay tuned soon for that guide when it comes out. But basically, we bring the kids in on a Sunday, and we teach them the ins and outs and the fundamentals of bowling. And we get them out there with an instructor, and they'll show them, where to stand on the lane, how to hold the ball, start to finish, and teach them how to bowl.
Yep. And it segues to Bowling 2.0. Tell us about Bowling 2.0 and the participation that you've had thus far, and the success of the program.
Well, thanks to the Blue Springs Chamber, we were awarded the Innovation Grant last October for us to provide this great program for adults. It's a 4-week free program. Basically, we bring adults into our facility. We have an instructor who will teach them in the classroom for 30 minutes. We have a video, an instructional video that will tell them every week, kind of, this is what we're learning this week. The first week is, how do you hold the ball? Where do you stand? Different things week to week on how you bowl. But we actually, when we went to Orlando, we got to meet the lady, Carolyn, who's in the video, and it was nice to see her and tell her thank you for providing such a great program for the adults to go through. But it's a great opportunity. Everybody should go through it, even if you're a league bowler. You never can know too much about bowling, but we're going to be providing these all throughout. Every 4 weeks we'll start a new program. And it's been great. I think we've had probably over 250 people go through it since we started the program in January.
Wow.
So it's been great. People actually from that have joined small just clubs. Have-a-ball clubs are very popular, where at the 12 weeks you get a brand new bowling ball from our pro shop. And Jamie's going to be the one that's going to be teaching these classes. He runs our pro shop. He's a former PBA bowler. And he's done a really good job with it. And I think people have learned a lot out of the class, and it's very beneficial for us to provide that for people for free for 4 weeks. And a great opportunity that we've had recently is I've met a lady through the VA hospital, and she's the physical rehab coordinator, and she's got people out there that she's reaching out to get her vets in this program, and she is going to bring them out. She's going to have transportation for them to bring them out to our facility, and we're going to set up a special class for them to go through. And from that, she's hoping that there's a way that she can fund it to where she can provide them the opportunity to go and join a league and help them fund that league. So they want them to be in something recreational. That's the whole thing, part of their physical rehab program, is getting these vets out there involved and doing something physical every week.
I agree. So, as a vet, I thank you. And, but then once again, congratulations on your guys' foresight. And this is what you get from going to events like.
Yeah, and we learned it all from the Bowling Expo. There's a lot of facilities around the country that do that. They reach out to the local VA hospital, and that's what I did. I got on the website and reached out to a guy in Washington, D.C., and he directed me to a lady here in Kansas City, and she's been great to work with. So
very cool. Fall leagues. I love bowling in a league. You make great friends that you'll never meet before. You know, if you're on a team, like I'm on a team with my brothers, and, you know, we get to rag on each other and just have a good time out. But it's a great thing for companies, churches, okay? Church as a whole to have their own bowling league, or just maybe churches to get together and have a bowling league. Tell us about fall leagues that are coming up.
Well, we've got a lot of great ones starting up this year. We're going to actually try to have a special event at our facility here in a couple of weeks where we can get the word out to all of the people in Eastern Jackson County, not just Blue Springs.
Right.
We want people from all over to come out and join a league, but not just the normal sanctioned leagues. We've got some great clubs, a pub and grub club. We've got a ladies' night league, a Have a Ball, obviously, kind of to implement how our Bowling 2.0 program is, going right into the Have a Ball. We've got not just a regular youth league, we have an 8-for-8 league for kids as well. So if they don't want a sanctioned league, there's kind of a way for them to come in and bowl for fun. $8 a week for 8 weeks. They come in and just have a good time, bowl with their friends, whatever they want to do there. But we're implementing a lot of great ideas this year, trying to get people, you know, people are scared when you say the word league. If you say club, they're like, hey, what is that all about? What do I get out of it? You know. But coming up with more creative ways to get people in there, and that's our focus right now. We're getting that league schedule out here soon, and then we want people to have an opportunity to come out and see what we have to offer. That's what it's all about.
I touched on with Gary earlier. We talked about fundraising. You guys have to be approaching, if not already exceeded the $1 million mark. Okay, you're right now the queen of fundraising here in Eastern Jackson County.
Trying to be.
Trying to be, and you're doing a great job.
Trying to get the word out.
Right. Okay. There's no better way for fundraising than and so turnkey than what you guys offer at Lunar Bowl. Tell us about that.
Well, to me, it makes sense. It's a way for you to come in and you raise money and you team build at the same time. What people don't realize is the other things that we offer with that. Yes, it's a ticket system. We have you sell tickets for a bowling party for 2 hours. We split the proceeds with you, but along with that, we allow you the opportunity to do a raffle, a 50-50 raffle, a silent auction. We've even allowed some bake sales to go on. And to me, it's a great way to raise additional funds, but it's all about team building, bringing your group together. You can't do that selling trash bags. You can't do that doing candy sales.
Right.
This is a way to get you guys together, have fun. Bowling's the way to do it. It never rains inside. You don't have to worry about that. Golf tournaments are great, but they're just a lot of time. There's a lot of time behind them. And you have to worry about the weather. And with bowling, you don't. And we have a great facility, and I think people have seen a lot of success out of it. And we had a lady bring hers to us this year, and she raised $10,200.
Wow.
For First Downs for Down syndrome.
Wow.
So it was a great activity, great event. She will do it every year. It's going to be an annual thing for her with us every year.
So this could be and if you're out there in Eastern Jackson County, let's look at booster clubs. Let's look at booster clubs for the bands, the speech and debate. Look at for the churches, all the organization. If you're raising money for missions or what have you, sports teams. Okay, I know I'm bringing my girls there to bowl this Thursday night, celebrating our year. The place to go for fundraising and for team building is Lunar Bowl.
Well, and we have a Royals Hall of Famer who is running for Jackson County office, who is actually talking to me about maybe doing that for his efforts as well.
Wow. And
I think that's a lot of people are doing that now. It's like, they realize bowling is fun, they can bring people together, and it's a way to give back to as well. So. Okay,
it's only July right now, but December is not that far away.
No, it's not.
And everybody wants their holiday parties,
Right.
Probably normally they want them on Friday nights, Saturday nights at certain times. And there's only so many Friday nights and Saturday nights, but there's also, any time's a great time to have a holiday party. And Lunar Bowl is a great place to host your holiday parties. Tell us about that.
Well, like I said, we have a great facility. We have the Blue Moon, who I think if you haven't been there, you're missing out on a great opportunity. You can hold 125 people in there. We have a great buffet menu, obviously full service bar. We can bring in entertainment, along with the 32 lanes of bowling. We have a 2,500 square foot arcade. If you're a kid at heart, you can go play some arcade games. And then we also have a conference room that fits about 80 people in there. We've got the wireless mic system, projection screen. So not only for holiday parties, it's a great meeting place as well. But we actually are in the process of putting together a sampling of our buffet menu so we can get that out to people and have them come in and sample some of the stuff we're going to do for holiday parties. So that's something I'm working on here with Gary.
Once again, that's your foresight to to get people onto your property.
Well, and I've told people, our dates are filling up quickly. Actually, the first week of December on Friday and Saturday is already full. But I'm working on working with people right now, figuring out kind of what their needs are, how many people they have, what they're looking for out of their holiday party. A lot of it is that sit-down dinner thing. Gets kind of old for people. They want a way to socialize, get to know the rest of their staff, their spouses, the families, and bowling is a good way to do that. I mean, it gets you kind of outside of that comfort zone, gets you to meet more people. We had a credit union last year that did it at our facility, and they didn't realize, man, what they were missing out on having it at their bank every year. This is a way for them to get outside the environment, have fun with their friends and family.
That's fantastic. And also, class reunions. And I was thinking on the way over here, boy, family reunions would be great to have there at Lunar Bowl because, you talk about sometimes we talk with golf and everything. Sometimes it's really hot.
Right.
And I can think of how many years I went to the Richmond Park in the middle of July and it's just 95 degrees and you're sitting outside and all your family's there. But you know what? A great way to get your family together. Okay.
Sure.
Just come to Lunar Bowl.
Well, Grand Valley's class of '94 had theirs with us this past weekend, and unfortunately I wasn't there for it. My daughter had a state tournament for softball. Gary said they had a great time. She sent me an email yesterday, said the place was great, the food was great, the people were great. We had a blast. Thank you so much. So just goes to show you, you can have a great time. They did it in the Blue Moon, and they said it was a great time. They had a lot of fun. We had a DJ for them, and
that's great.
They got to play songs from the '90s and dance and have a good time. So that's what it's all about.
Well, soon I'm going to be talking about the Lexington High School class of 1980, and so it's coming up here next year. And I thought, hey, it's right here in my backyard. They're great sponsors. And it's a great place to be. So I want to talk to you about that for our class reunion. It'd be great. Yeah. Tina, if somebody wants to reach out and contact you about anything with Lunar Bowl, okay, where it's the Bowling 2.0, the 101, Bowling 101 for the youth, events, fundraising. What phone number can they contact you at?
Just call us at 816-220-7722. Obviously, check us out on lunarbowl.com. We got all the information on there as well on all of our events, fundraisers, the Bowling 2.0, the youth programs. Our league schedule will be out on there. Anything about Lunar Bowl will be on the website as well. But yes, 816-220-7722. Or if you want to email me,
there you go.
It's at tinaS@lunarbowl.com.
Okay. If you're looking to raise some money for your organization, you're looking for some great family fun, if you're looking to join a league, the place to go is Lunar Bowl. We're so lucky to have it in our community here in Blue Springs. You see by meeting Gary and now with Tina, they're movers and shakers. They make things happen, and they can do great things for them. If you do your event there at Lunar Bowl, you'll look like a superstar. And I know, knowing Tina and working with Tina for 12 years, and knowing working with Gary for over a decade, is that they get it done, and they do it right. And Tina, as always, thanks so much for joining us at Positively Blue Springs.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on all your success.
Well, I owe it to you. It wouldn't be for you, I wouldn't be there. So.
There you go. Now I'm blushing. This is Positively Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. Welcome back to this special 3-segment edition of Positive Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I'm Tony Wrisinger, Sideline of Sports, and we're joined now by Zach Cobb. And I wanted to have Zach on because Zach is, of the person I know, is the most passionate person in Kansas City about soccer, not just sporting KC soccer, but about soccer. And Zach, before we get started, welcome back to Positive Blue Springs.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay. The World Cup just got over. We're recording this here on Monday, the day after the World Cup just got over. Many people in Kansas City, they know about soccer, but they saw on, on the news, not just locally but nationally, the popularity of soccer in Kansas City with the World Cup going on and all the events happening, all the crowds gathering down at the Power and Light District. Let me ask you this here. How did you catch the soccer bug? You come from a football school, Blue Springs, and you're a football player.
Obviously, I was not a soccer player myself. No, I grew up liking, American football, but definitely when I was in high school in 2002, there was a World Cup, and the United States had their best showing they ever have, and I remember really getting into it then. It kind of planted the seed, so a lot of people that are having their first World Cup experience of really taking it seriously now, I can think of when I did the same thing in 2002, and it just kind of grows on you if you experience it.
Okay. Because I think in some of the, like my age, okay, over 29, okay, much over 29, is that we like a lot of scoring. You're the best football statistician ever with us on Vision Sports for that 1 year, and then we lost you on free agency. But we like scoring. 5 touchdowns a game, so, action and stuff like that. And when it comes to soccer, games are 1-0. Okay, it's nil, correct?
Yes.
Not 1-0. It's 1-0.
That's whatever you want it to be.
Okay, 2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, and stuff like that. But people are engaged with soccer, the art of soccer. What is it that has really grasped today's youngsters and now going up about soccer?
Well, I think what's neat is the more that people experience it, especially in this World Cup, it kind of kills some of the myths about soccer, that it's not physical, that it's not, a sport for someone that's pretty tough. And also the biggest myth, I think, is that the only time it's exciting is when someone scores.
Right.
There is so much build-up, there is so much, kind of tense moments because the game can completely change at any moment. So if anybody likes, 2 outs with a man on third, they should be able to appreciate a corner kick or someone, that's going full speed at someone else's goals with the defense on their heels.
And it was like that yesterday at the end of the soccer game.
Yeah.
The Argentina was 25 yards out.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was like right at the end of extra time, and if the guy would have made it, it would have been a penalty kicks. Would have went to next.
Everything can change at any moment. It's a game of inches, a lot like people talk about how football is. It was a really good World Cup. It was really exciting. There were lots of goals, lots of drama, a deserving champion. It was really fun to watch. The United States had a pretty good run. They're growing as a team as well, so it's nice to see.
Okay. You're a huge, if not the biggest fan of Sporting KC. How'd that come about?
I started, like we talked about, kind of getting to soccer in 2002. When I moved back to Kansas City from college, it was about 2007. I actually had a friend that worked at the team, and I kind of just started going out.
When they were the Wizards?
When they were the Wizards, yeah. And they were the Kansas City Wizards playing in a baseball park.
Exactly.
And now they have their own stadium. It's the crown jewel of North American soccer stadiums, and they're playing real well. But, I just went out, and I enjoy the games, and it happened really slowly. I slowly started getting really into it. I like the team is very likable. The organization is extremely likable. They're very good to fans. You kind of feel like you're part of, you feel like you're kind of part of the club instead of just, money, money to them, which is really nice. And they're also a really good team. So I just kind of felt that connection and really got into it.
Tell us about the Cauldron.
The Cauldron, it's funny. It's interesting. It's unique. Imagine if you're a big Chiefs fans, imagine if there was a big group of Chiefs fans, almost as if there was like a union of fans, and they were a big organization that kind of advocated for fans and the fan experience and was kind of a liaison between fans and the team. And that's what it is. It's just a bunch of really kind of dedicated, rowdy fans. They usually have a really good time with it. We kind of help organize road trips. We sent 800 people to Colorado a few months ago for a road game and had a really good time. And it's just a lot of people that like the game, enjoy going out, group of friends, you meet a lot of people. It's a fun time.
Folks like my dad and your dad and myself remember, like with the Chiefs they had the Huddle Club, and that was for kids. And it's kind of like the Blue Crew is today with the Royals.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like what the Cauldron is now with, with Sporting KC. But it's just basically, and I kind of equate it to. My son plays guitar, and when he was 14 years old, and he'd be traveling, he'd be carrying his guitar. It's something where, if another guitar player sees you in an airport, they may come up and say, "Hey, what are you strumming?"
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like that type of fraternity. And
Yeah.
Sporting KC has that effect right now in Kansas City. Whereas if you see someone who's wearing a Sporting shirt, or you see that like soccer, it's like an instant introduction.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I feel like the fans are very close. It is interesting though, because there's just this growth period where it used to be there's a lot of fans that were a lot more old-time fans than I am, and they could tell you the name of every fan that would go to every game, and now. It's insane. You see Sporting Kansas City everywhere, even here in Eastern Jackson County, where obviously the stadium's kind of far away.
Okay. You graduated in from Blue Springs High School what year?
2002.
Okay. What are you doing now?
I am a professional photographer right now. Yeah, I do photography for businesses and all kinds of people, really a little bit of everything, whether it's a big event or, magazine stuff, or maybe if a restaurant needs nice photos for their menu, things like that. So it's been lots of fun. It's just been doing, photography, and it's really enjoyable.
And Sporting has worked with you a lot, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, a lot of Sporting Kansas City stuff. If you see sometimes on tickets, on billboards, on their website, and, big displays in the stadium. So that's pretty neat as well.
Yep. You come back to Blue Springs, rather frequently.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you graduated from here, and you come back here often. What brings you back to Blue Springs?
Well, I'd say Blue Springs has been very good to me. The school system and the city and the community has been very good. I feel like maybe I didn't really know how good it was and what I had until I went to other places and felt like people didn't have that kind of neat, community foundation that I grew up with, and I just assumed was how it was for everybody. I went other places and saw that wasn't really there, and so coming back and kind of appreciating that a little bit more. Blue Springs has been really good to me, so I hope people kind of know what they have on their hands and help move that forward and cultivate that, because it's it's down to individual people to make communities. So.
Oh, definitely. And you make that's totally correct, because I grew up in a community where kids graduate from high school and they don't come back to that community. Okay. What I love about Blue Springs is that a lot with the school system. There are a lot of the teachers are people that went to Blue Springs High School, went to Blue Springs South High School. Blue Springs has such an impact on its young folks, is that it brings them back, and they come back here to raise their families, and someone like you, that you come back here often because it is your hometown.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Zach, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Positive Blue Springs. Once again, I will say that you were the best statistician that we've ever had.
Yeah, well.
and probably had something to do with that math you learned from your dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you learned how to cipher there at Marshall High School.
We'll make some fantastic trophy with someone giving a sticky note to an announcer and see how that works out.
That works out. But, hey, congratulations on all your success. Continued success to you. And as always, thanks for joining us on Positive Blue Springs.
Appreciate it, Tony. Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. This is Positive Blue Springs, a presentation of the BSSD Media Network. Welcome back to Positively Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I want to thank our guests who made our show fantastic today. First off, thank you to Gary Cobb and Tina Short from Lunar Bowl. A fantastic facility here in Blue Springs, great part of the community, great place to fundraise, great place to have fun, and great place for your holiday parties. I also want to thank Zach Cobb, and thanks for telling us about soccer, how big it is here in Kansas City, and also connect us with your connections here in Blue Springs, and best of luck to you, Zach. And I also want to thank you, the viewers at home, for inviting us to your living room to watch Positive Blue Springs. I'd also like to thank the Blue Springs School District for allowing us the forum to present this program. I'm Tony Wrisinger, Sideliner Sports and Positive Blue Springs. Make it a great day.